There you go, Max. Attaboy. Right on. Anybody else brave? Jimmy Pro, CC. Ah, Cecily. Hey, Cecily, how you doing? You're muted. There you go.
How are you?
I am fantastic and getting better, thanks.
Fabulous.
Welcome to the. It's good to see you too. Welcome to the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland, which is where I was a year ago. At this time, we were in Ireland. I got to spend New Year's there, and Cliffs of Moher was one of the places we got to visit. Beautiful country, beautiful. So, all right, we are at 10:01, and today we're going to be talking about my absolute favorite topic. And what is that topic? Come unmute yourself, Cecily, when you want to speak.
All right, prospecting.
Exactly. Prospecting is my favorite topic. Now, if you're in a location that you can turn on your video, please do. And if it's quiet enough in your location, go ahead and unmute yourself, because this is not going to be me just spewing stuff out. Those are the worst teaching sessions or Zoom sessions on the planet. So if you are able to unmute yourself, please do. If you're able to turn on your video, please do, because I want to see you, see what's going on, see your reactions, see if you're having challenges or what have you. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, good deal. So let me go ahead and I got to do it this way. Share screen. Let's get PowerPoint up. And we're going to go to the top with this. And not animation, slideshow. All right, y'all can see that? I hope.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. And let me minimize this, because then there's something else I've got to get up here. All right, there we go. Moving stuff around so I can see what the heck I'm doing. There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, because there's material that I'm required to cover in the Ignite thingamajig, and there's material that's actually going to be of use to you. So we'll go that way. Prospecting. All right. So, folks, let me ask you this question. Have you all heard about the Pareto principle?
Pareto principle.
Or the 80-20 rule? Anybody know what that means?
Yep, 20% of the work you put in will give you 80% of your results.
Bingo, you got it, Max. 20% of what you do will give you 80% of your results. Italian guy by the name of Pareto, many years ago in Italy, did some studies, and he found out that 20% of the farmers were producing 80% of the produce or the result. And as he looked across other things, he discovered this was true for many, many, many different things. In any sales organization, 20% of the salespeople are doing 80% of the production. And in our own businesses and in what we do, 20% of what we do, the activities that we do, produce 80% of our results. And when it comes to sales, which is what we're in, call it what you want, the real estate professional, the real estate business, the helping other people's business, blah, 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 you're in sales, period. All right. And in a sales business, 20% of your activity that's going to produce 80% of your results is going to be prospecting, how you find business, growing your business. It's from lead generating for buyers and sellers, period. It's really quite that simple. Now, you all still see the PowerPoint presentation, right? You're seeing what we'll focus on today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good, because I've got two screens going on here, and sometimes I get confused. Those of you that know me, you know I'm a dialing fool. I do my prospecting, my lead generation by getting on the phone, and I use a dialer called Mojo, and I get lists for sale by owners, expired, absentee owners, circle prospecting, and potential empty nesters, and of course my database. And I dial all of those people and contact all of those people in my effort to find business. And this last year, my cap date is August. I've already capped in 4 months, and I've been in this market for a year and a half. So if you are effective and consistent in doing your prospecting or lead generating, you can find business. And you have to be focused and determined on doing that. And you have to set up a schedule to do that, and you've got to stick to that schedule to do that. You can't skip it, hope, pray, whatever. Prayer works for a lot of things. It doesn't work for finding business. So, all right, good deal. Have I preached enough about that?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So prospecting is the key to finding your business. All right. Right on. Okay. So we're going to connect prospecting to lead generating. Sorry, I'm looking through slides and what it's telling me that I have to what I have to do. Yeah. Okay. Let's just keep going here. All right. This is, it's in your participant guide. It's in probably the MREA. I believe it's in the Shift book, followed by Gary Keller. This is kind of the model of how business flows. It starts with prospecting and marketing at the top, and then you capture those leads, and those leads you work and cultivate, and you turn them into contacts, and you're connecting with them, and you're offering something to build a better connection. Then we get down into cultivate, and that's a different thing. But for prospecting and marketing, it's to capture leads, get them in your database, and then communicate with them. And find, and I've shared this with a lot of you in any class. The first place you should start with in your business is this. You can't see it. There we go. This thing, your phone. On here, you have hundreds, thousands of contacts of people that are in your phone for some reason. And that is the very first place you should start with your business. Download all of these onto a flat file. Max, I think I suggested this to you a while back, correct?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Yes.
All right. And you're starting the process of building that database by contacting those people and getting complete contact information.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Are you willing to share with this group on the class now how many of those you've been able to contact and get complete, meaning name, phone number, email address, physical address, into your spreadsheet?
Well.
Yeah, be real. It's okay.
Not much. I had about I think just a little over 100 people on my my contacts on my phone. Most of my I've really only gotten about 2 leads, and a lot of that has been from actually Facebook.
I'm not, and Max, I'm not asking about how many leads you've gotten out of there. I'm asking how many you've been able to contact and get complete contact information for.
Okay, well, 0.
Okay, so you've not been able to reach anybody and have them give you, oh yeah, my address is this, my email address is this, my phone number, if you don't have it, is this.
Right, yeah. I've gotten addresses. I haven't gotten like a full, the whole shebang.
Okay, and be honest, and I apologize, but I'm taking this time to personally coach Max on this because he's come and visited with me, and he's willing to speak. Have you actually made the effort to contact them and let them know, hey, I'm in this business and I want to make sure I've got complete contact information on you?
No, I've not. Not.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And that's why you have 0.
Yeah.
That's exactly the reason you have 0.
Mhm.
And again, anybody and everybody that's on this call, let me look through here, see who else is here. Yolanda's here, Marius, Ceci. Hey, Ioana, how you doing? Is here. All of you that are newer agents, those of you that are seasoned veterans and are just jumping in to pick up something awesome, that's great. And this is valuable for you as well. All of you that are newer agents and you don't have a database of clients, you don't have what a Josh Hammond or a Ray Millman or a Michelle Brown or Maureen Lee has built over many, many years. Alagina, they've built a database of people that will work with them because they've been doing it for years and years and years and years and years. And they've just continued to add to that database of people that they've worked with and that will work with them. You all have 0 that are newer. You have nothing. All right. You've got some friends. Let's get real. You have some friends that are going to be willing to do business with you, and you might stumble across them, and something might happen from them. However, that's not a sustainable business model. What is sustainable is taking everybody that who currently knows, likes, and trusts you, and getting them into a database and continually cultivating them, which is further down this list here, cultivating them. And then that leads eventually to business. So again, I encourage all of you, take your phone, download the app. What app did you download the app, Max, to move it to a spreadsheet?
Yeah.
What app was that? Do you remember?
I forgot.
That's okay. You can download an app that will take all of your contacts in your phone and put it on a spreadsheet. And when you've got a spreadsheet, you can put in columns for name, phone number, email address, physical address. And you start with A and you work your way down. And you just let those people know, hey, I got my real estate license. I'm in the business now. I'm with a great team here in the South Bay. And, I want to be a resource for you. And I just want to be able to stay in touch and make sure I've got complete information for you. Right now, I have your phone number. Maybe I have your email address. And what is your physical address? And where are you with considering making a move? Buying, selling, or investing in real estate at this time? And who else do you know that may want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And you get that one record, that one line filled out completely. Victory. Now you got one person to add to your database. And then you go to the next day and you do the same thing. And you just keep going down that spreadsheet until you filled it out as best as you possibly can. And then you can port that into Command or whatever contact management system you're going to use. And now you've got an actual beginning of a database that you can work from that will eventually give you business. Everybody got that? Does that make sense?
Yes. Bob, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may, Cecily.
Okay, so for the app that you're talking about, is it basically we're just looking for like a CRM software? Is that?
No, you're not looking for a CRM software at all. You don't even need that at this point. What you're looking for, let me see if I have it in my tools. Export contacts.
Okay.
Is the one that I have. All right.
Perfect.
What you're looking for is an app that will allow you to export your record, your contacts in your phone, the thing that says contacts, and export that into a flat file Excel spreadsheet.
Perfect.
We all know an Excel spreadsheet, a Google sheet, whatever it is. All it's doing is moving it into a flat file. Because if you have that flat file, that Excel spreadsheet, and you've got a bunch of records in there with contact information, you've got something that you can move into any database or any CRM.
Right. Okay.
That thing can be mapped to any CRM, whether it's Command, whether it's Sync, the one that I use, whether it's Top Producer. There's a myriad of those things. Okay. So, and Command you get as being a part of Keller Williams. So that's why we recommend that. All right. And that's
Thank you.
ideally, yeah, absolutely. That's ideally the best and the best first place to start is with people who already know, like, and trust you, because they're going to be amenable to working with you and helping you out. People who know, like, and trust us want to help us, period. So that's where I want y'all to start. And then we'll, as we move along in here, we're talking about other places that you can find business and other ways that you can find business. All right. Now we look at, there's two important aspects to prospecting, and that is your message, what you're saying, what you're delivering to the community, and the method that you do that. All right. The message needs to match the market, needs to match the offer for immediate response, or needs to make an offer for immediate response. Should match the market by tailoring the intended message to the sentiments and market conditions of a target group in an area that you operate. The message should have a call to action, like call me now, or an indirect offer of look at my website to learn more information. I wouldn't recommend that. So to kind of narrow this down into something that actually makes sense, calling an expired listing, the message is, I saw your house came off the market. What are your plans for the property? Or basically, do you still want to sell it? Because if you still want to sell it, then let's get together and talk about how we can make that happen for you. That's the message. And that's the offer. Hey, your house didn't sell. Do you still want to sell it? That's simplifying that script. So there's a little bit more to it than that. Or for a for sale by owner, I see you're trying to sell the home yourself. How are you doing with that? And would you allow me to help you? Is making the offer. A absentee owner, which means it's probably a rental property. I see you've got a rental property. Is it working as a rental, or have you considered selling it? And that's making the offer, because I'd like to help you sell that. When I'm doing what are called circle prospecting, and we'll see a list of these in just a little bit, it's, we just sold a house in your neighborhood and we need more homes to sell. Would you sell your house? That's a simplified version of the message and matching your market. Who am I talking to? And making an offer. And then the method, how you do that, you can either do it through prospecting, which I do through calling them up and saying, we just sold a house. We need more homes. You want to buy, or you want to sell? The other one is marketing. I did, I think, 400 or 500 just sold cards around a listing in Torrance that we sold a month or two ago. I've had zero response from that. I get more response from calling people, prospecting, and asking them questions about their situation. Now, we'll dig into that about marketing versus prospecting right now, as a matter of fact. In the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, Gary Keller said your business is marketing-based and prospecting enhanced. Several years later in the book Shift, when the market shifted, he switched that up and said, nope, your business is prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So the main thing you should be doing is actually prospecting, not marketing. For those of us that fear rejection, which is all of us, by the way, that don't want to be told no, that don't want to be told to F off or whatever, or we fear asking people questions, we would rather do marketing, because marketing is reactive. Marketing is we mail a bunch of stuff out, and someday at some point, someone picks up that thing just at the right moment that it hit them, and they call you up and they say, "Hey, I want to sell my house. Come by, come and list me." Which we would love for that to be the way this business works. Wouldn't that be nice? People just call you up and say, "Yeah, I want you to sell my house." That way of doing it is money intensive, it's passive, and it produces long-term results. Some of the people that I've mentioned that have built those big databases will tell you, if you're going to take this approach, you have to have a market of about 1,000 or 2,000 homes or records that you're mailing to. You got to mail to them at least once a month for 18 months, and then you will see results. So if you've got a couple $100,000 in cash lying around and you've got 18 months to wait and you don't want to pick up the phone for fear of rejection, then that's a great way to go. As long as you're delivering material that's good and of information. I will tell you, I almost never, ever do marketing. The only marketing I do is a 33 touch or 36 touch, I think it's called now, of emails to my database. That's literally the only marketing I do. I did that one card that one time, not effective. I don't send out monthly newsletters, physical newsletters to neighborhoods or farms or what have you. I don't send out just listed, just sold cards. Rarely. I did it once. I don't do that stuff. I do the one at the bottom, the prospecting, which is time intensive because you have to set aside 2 to 3 hours, 5 days a week or more if you need to, and make calls or take action. It's proactive, meaning you're the one going out and looking for business. And you also get immediate results from doing that. Because if you get somebody on the phone and they say, "Hey, I need to do something. I need to sell, I need to buy, I need to take this action." Great, I can help you out with that. So those of you sitting here watching this, listening to this, for you, what do you think is going to be the most effective way of prospecting? Or what's going to be the most effective way of getting business?
Cold calling.
Cecily came right out of the gates and said cold calling.
Yeah. Calling people.
Yep. Yeah. Does anybody look at marketing as a better way to go? And it's okay if you do, and you got the money and you got the time and you can do that, right on. Good for you.
Hi, Bob. It's Yona. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, young lady.
Thank you. Bob, I have a question. So regarding that,
Yes.
I heard from people that, so when you get listings and then like it's good idea to send out like just listed like type of cars, but according to you it was not affected. So my question is like, how do you generate more traffic when you have a lots of listings? You always do.
What I do, Yana, and thank you for asking that question. You know what? If you have the money and you have the time, and you're in a specific market area, and if you've got homes that you're listing in a specific farm or market area, and you want to, we just listed, we just got it in contract, we just sold. We just listed, got it in contract, sold. If you're able to do that in a specific market area on a consistent basis, then I would say, yeah, that's a good way to go. Absolutely. And what I do, however, is when I get a listing, I get a list of phone numbers around that listing. I call that database with, it's coming on the market, it's on the market, it's in contract, it's sold. So I'm able to hit that database of people 4 times. And through that process, I will find somebody that I'm able to add to my database. I'll get their email address, and then I'm able to keep in touch with them by phone, quarterly calls, and by email with the 33 Touch program that we have. Okay, but yes, and if you are working in a specific area, it can make sense to do that if you have the money. Make sense, Yona?
Yes. So you, instead of like mailing, you normally like call them and
I
reach
call
out
them.
to them. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I call them. You bet. No problem. Absolutely. So great question. All right. Anybody else on this page?
Hi, Robert. Happy New Year. It's Yolanda.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
Yolanda.
So my question is, for me, as I'm listening and growing and learning everything, that prospecting I see is key, and marketing is too. But marketing, of course, you have to have a budget. So let's speak to those who don't have that budget. You're a new agent, you don't have a big budget to get started, and you want to go and get a list. Now, I keep hearing that you went and got a list. Do you have to purchase this list? Is the getting the list that's already scrubbed, is it something like a monthly fee to get these listings? Or is there another way if you don't have a big budget to get listings to get, yeah.
Great question, Yolanda. Fantastic. Right on point. Yeah. So depending on what that list is, all right, and what you want to get, there can be a cost associated with it. And here's what I've found in this market area. You know the title reps that call on you?
Yeah.
Ben, Joanne, Matt, there's probably a few others, Steve, what have you, those title company reps.
Yeah.
They all have access to data. And if you build a relationship with them, they will give you that data. Here's the reality. They're not supposed to.
Okay.
In the Northern California market where I came from, title reps could not give you that data. They could give you access to a tool that could help you find that data, and there was a cost associated with it. But down here, I'll email a title rep, hey, I need absentee owners in Torrance that have owned the property for 30 years or longer and are 2,000 square feet in size or larger, and they live out of the state. And I'll get a list from them that includes phone numbers.
Awesome.
And I've been dialing one of those lists recently, and I think about 60% of the phone numbers are correct.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And your cost to get that list
Is zero.
is building the cost is if you obtain a listing from one of those leads they gave you, then you'll give that title insurance policy to that rep or
Gotcha.
to that company that they represent. That's why they're doing it. They're trying to get business for their title company, and so they're giving you data so that you can find that and go get them.
It's win-win.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. So, and if you all need the names of a couple of good reps that have given me good data in the past, when we're all done with this, you can send me an email. Let me, where's the freaking chat thing? Hold on. I'll put my right now. I'll put my email in chat and copy and paste that, and you can send me an email and say, "Hey Bob, who are the good reps?" Homegroup.com. There we go. All right. Oh, that's not right. Ignore that. UnitedHomeGroup.com. There we go. That's the correct one. Yeah. Copy and paste that one, and then just send me an email with who are the good reps in the subject line. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You bet. And they can also, if you wanted to mail to places, they can also help you out with that. If you want to do direct mail, they've got addresses, they've got resources for the direct mail pieces. Command probably has some stuff to make direct mail pieces if you wanted to do that. All right. Now here is a list of different people, places, things that you can call or get in touch with to find business. This is probably in your participant guide as well. And it talks about starting with phone or face-to-face. And this is me. This is what I'm all about right here. It says listings without an agency. A for sale by owner doesn't have an agency agreement. Expired listing no longer has an agency agreement. Circle prospecting, which I mentioned. If you wanted to work a specific neighborhood, like Yona was talking about, working a specific area, direct mail to a specific area. If you wanted to call apartment complexes to find buyers, recently sold listings or recently listed properties. These right here are age-old Mike Ferry calls, and developed these 30, 40 years ago. I don't know, some ridiculous amount of time. Then that's where I call up and say, we just listed a home in your neighborhood. Who do you know that might want to buy it? We just got it in contract, or we just sold it. We've got more buyers that want a home. Who do you know that's selling? That one's been in existence for years and years and years and years. That's one that I do right here. FSBOs, expired, recently sold, recently listed. I do those all the time. What it doesn't mention here, and one that I absolutely love and have gotten business from, absentee owners. Absentee owners, where the property address, excuse me, property address is different than the mailing address. So they're having the tax record mailed to a different address than the property. Odds are pretty good that's a rental property. And we see a lot of those here. And at some point, they may want to sell it. And you want to reach out to them and be the resource for them when they want to sell. So, or another thing it doesn't mention here was circle prospecting. And it talks about being market specific. Hang on a second. There we go. I gave up coffee for the month of January, so I'm sure it has an impact on me.
Just to reiterate, Bob, that was unitedhomegroup.com.
B. Walatka at unitedhomegroup.com. That's right, Marius.
Thank you.
Yep. And another thing you can look at is specific types of owners. Someone that's lived in their house for 30 plus years, and it's a larger home. Kids have moved out. Might be too much home for them. Might be too much land for them. They may be looking at doing what?
Downsizing.
Empty
Perfect.
nesters.
Empty nesters. Correct. Yep. So you could, and again, those title reps, you can say, hey, I want somebody that's lived in their house 30 years or longer, and the house is 2,000 square feet or more, and give me that list. And you can call them up and say, I noticed you've been in your house for quite a while and it's quite large. What would it take for you to sell? And you never know. You might find somebody that's going, you know what, you're right. I need to make a move, and or I'm moving out of state, which a lot of folks are doing now. So there's opportunities in that. Or they may say, hey, I'm moving in 2 years, or we're thinking about 2 years. I'm retiring in 2 years, 3 years, or a year, or whatever. And yeah, then we'll talk about it then. Guess what you just found? What did you find?
You found a lead?
Future.
You found a lead.
Yeah.
You found someone that you get to add to what?
Your database.
your database. So that person, the data you're going to get from a title rep on that, you're going to have a phone number, you're going to have a name, you're going to have an address. So what's the only thing you need?
Email. What you saying? Name.
Bingo.
physical-
You got it. Because if you've got name, phone number, email, and physical address, you've got a complete record, a complete contact. And then if you have a system to remain in touch with them and keep following up with them, then when the time comes, they will work with you. Over the years, I've had numerous people tell me, wow, you're really good at follow-up. And all I did was make a note in my database to say, we had this conversation. And 6 months later, I call them up and say, hey, last January, we had this conversation about this. Where are things at now? And they'll go, wow, you remember that? All I did was type some stuff into my database and then remember to make a call. You want to be that person that remembers to follow up. Okay. Other avenues that you can go with, and let's be quite frank, with COVID, some of these are not available to us now. Community outreach, doing charity, doing volunteer work. My wife works at CHLA and helps out there. Charity stuff. You could help out with local organizations, organizations that are cleaning the beach. Go walk with a whole bunch of people and clean up the beach and chat with a bunch of people about real estate. You know, keeping in mind that if you're going to do that purposefully, consistently, not just once a year. Hey, I'm going to go out and help clean up the beach and talk to people about real estate. If that's going to be an avenue for you, then do it every week or every month. Do it consistently. And the volunteer work, do that consistently. Having key relationships with corporations. Well, wouldn't we all love to know the human resources director at Honda or Toyota or one of the large businesses in the area here, so that when an employee is moving here or moving away and has to buy or sell a property and the company helps them with that, then you can be the one they call to do that. Wouldn't you love to have that? Yeah, I would. I don't, and I would. Building relationships with builders, people that build homes. They're going to need, if they're building them, they need to sell them. Relationships with banks. Don't ask me how to do that. Third-party companies. Not sure what that means. Maybe that means like the title reps we work with, or investors. You know, investors may have properties they want to sell. They may have properties they want to buy. You could look at teaching and speaking opportunities, meals, door-to-door canvassing, networking events. Networking events are pretty much gone unless you're doing them online. Booths and kiosks or walk-ins, people that walk into the office. A lot of the face-to-face stuff we used to be able to do doesn't exist anymore. And that's why I'm so grateful that I've been using the phone for 18 years and keep using the phone because it works, it's effective. And I'll be honest, texting is now a part of that. And social media aspect is a part of that as well. All right. So I want you all just take a minute, look at this list, and write down 2 of those things that you would want to do. And then I want you to share them with me. So take a minute.
Bob, can you show the list on the screen?
You don't see it?
I know I see the PowerPoint presentation, but I see on my left, like just all the slides, but not the main slide that you're talking about.
Okay, that's weird. All right, let me see if I can fix that. Let's stop share. Yeah, PowerPoint does weird stuff. Screen 2. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know that, Yolanda.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's the challenge with PowerPoint and Zoom. It pops up one screen that I can see what the next slide is, and here's the current slide, versus the other screen has the actual slide. All right, whenever you're ready, let me know what two you picked.
We're 2 out of the 10.
2 out of anything on this page.
Oh, definitely. For me, like I said, I'm working on getting a dialing system right now. As a matter of fact, that's my plan for after this is over. So over the phone. And then also too, I've actually started reaching out to people who I know that work for either like a title company or that does mortgages, or bankers who can help me with the ideas of like pre-approval. So like key relationships.
Okay, so you got bankers in there.
Yes.
All right, what else?
So like I said, bankers, people that I know a couple of people that do mortgages and lending. And so I've reached out to them to see what they could do within the scope of their job that, to help me get,
Right.
to help me with any other further prospecting. And then also too, like I said, I've actually started dialing people in my database and then just reaching out to them
Okay.
and letting them know that I'm selling real estate. And if they know anybody, because I actually, and also too, I've met a couple of people through things like workout groups that I've been in. And so they know people that are looking to move to the area, or they're looking to move out of the area. And so
What kind of group, Cecily?
like workout groups. So like I
Oh,
run.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, people that I run with, people that I see regularly that I run, that I pass, I'll stop and
Yep.
chat. And just because there really is no face to face, and I'm a very big people person. So even like the social media online part is a difficult concept for me ultimately, because I like the face to face interaction. And so,
Right.
but I've also reached out to people that I know that have like good online presences, and asked them to help me with coming up with something that I could keep up with, personally at my, because like I said, because it's not my strong suit. So just working on that. So those are the things that I find, that I'm working on right now. I'll see what happens.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So really you pick banks, and I'll call it networking events, but your running groups, your workout groups, or what have you, that's another one there. And then it's not mentioned here, social media is a different topic we're going to cover down here, but that's, definitely a way to get business. All right. Who else? What two did you pick?
I'll go. I selected phone for sale by owners. So I definitely want to work with that particular group. And I also, I'm not too familiar with circle prospecting, but I think it's probably what I want to do. There's a particular gated community that I'm interested in that I actually live in. And so I think that circle prospecting for my own neighborhood, because I've lived in this gated community for over 20 years, that people know me. So I think that falls under circle prospecting.
Yeah, it totally does. That's
Okay.
neighborhood.
Okay.
Absolutely does, Yolanda. How many homes are in that gated community?
It's about 400 plus.
Okay, that's not a bad start. It's not a bad start. And if you could find 400 records in that gated community and call every one of them and let them know you're in the business and you're a neighbor and I live here, guess what? Somebody that lives in the community and is an agent is going to have the upper hand on everybody else, period, always. So, that would be a fantastic place for you to start. And again, any one of those title reps will have that data.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Anybody else want to chime in with the 2 things that they would choose. So Yolanda and Cecily are the only brave ones. Is that what I'm hearing? Come on, Max. You know I'm gonna pick on you, Max.
I'm calling renters here in Manhattan Beach and condo
Okay,
owners.
great.
But I also
So apartment complexes, and then the one that I mentioned, absentee owners or investors. We'll call them investors. Yeah.
I'm also interested. I'd really like to. And I don't know if it falls under the teaching and speaking opportunities, but I'd like to try to make little videos and post those on Facebook or something, just like little kind of teaching videos about certain topics.
Great. How many friends do you have on Facebook?
I think about 2,500.
Good. That's a good start. It's a good start. Okay, so Max, what would be your process to create those videos, or what would you say, or what would you do?
I don't know what topics. I
What
just
are you
like
knowledgeable about?
just maybe like a little summary on just the buying process, or just summary on the markets here in the South Bay around Los Angeles, and good investment opportunities.
I'm going to skip ahead to some of the social media stuff that is included in here, and just one thing that I've seen some people do. I think Yona does it, and I've seen others do it. You live in Manhattan Beach, right, Max?
Mhm.
Okay, and the Manhattan Beach restaurant owners are they having trouble?
Yeah.
So could you go with your phone to one of those restaurants that maybe you know the owner, maybe you know the manager or whatever, and just give a 30-second, hey, this restaurant here is great. They're doing takeout food. I've had this at their restaurant. It's the best. Make sure you call this number and get some takeout food from these guys today.
Okay.
Okay? And you do 5 of those, and then you do, oh, by the way, in Manhattan Beach right now we have only 2 months of supply, and the average sale price is 1.8 million, and whatever data you can pull out of InfoSparks to say, hey, this is what's going on in Manhattan Beach. And you take a video of yourself standing in front of the beach and delivering this information.
Okay.
Make sense?
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of times it's more about giving value, helping out the community, less about here's information about real estate.
Okay.
Okay. Is anybody doing that type of thing at this point? Yona, I see you posting videos all the time. Are you doing that?
Yes, and according to our coach Sonia, she said that's posting video is like 500 times effective than just posting pictures. So yeah, I'm not really like sometimes I have to push myself to do it, but like we believe like Sonia's teaching, so we just doing it. And yes, it's so true because a few weeks ago, one of our friend that lives in Florida contacted us that her daughter in LA is looking for a house, and then she says she always see us on Facebook. So that's we truly believe it's effective. So that's why we are doing it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I want you to get something here, okay? Yona is posting these videos. Who's your partner?
Elise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're posting videos, and is it always real estate related, or is it a lot of times, hey, here's where we're out doing this thing?
No, I don't. No, we don't do that much of real estate. So yeah, we just talk about something else, but not real estate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And someone from Florida saw her video, called him up and said, "Hey, I've got someone in LA that needs to buy a home. Can you help them?" The thing with showing up on video or showing up with direct mail or showing up on the phone is that person or people go, "Wow, you're everywhere. I see you everywhere." And it is that for them in their world, may not be for everybody in the entire world, but for that person, Yona and Elise were showing up everywhere. Okay, so keep in mind. So be prospecting based, marketing enhanced, prospecting opportunities of door knocking, agent referrals, open houses, social media. Yona, I know you're doing the social media piece. Anybody, what is anybody else out there doing any of these types of things? Obviously, we're not doing door knocking and we're not doing open houses. Those are out. So, Cecily, you've mentioned you're talking to banks, you're talking to your workout groups. Yona, you're doing those videos. Is anybody else doing anything prospecting or prospecting based marketing enhanced?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So, Yona, hi, sorry, I'm Cecily. How
Cecily.
long have you guys been doing the videos? I just started recording some, I just started doing the same thing at the first of the year, trying to just get some content together before I start posting. But yeah, like I said, how long have you been doing videos? And how
Yes.
often are you putting out
Mhm.
content?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in real estate since like this is our it's been like a year and like 2 months, something like that. So
Okay.
first few months we didn't do anything like that, and we didn't even have a Facebook account. So we created a new Facebook account like 2 months, 3 months later. Then in the beginning, like we didn't do any videos because that's not our things. But then like so I would say we've been doing it for maybe like 6 months, a little more.
Okay.
Then little by little, like I've been hearing from our families, friends, like, oh, like you've been in real estate. Oh, actually, like every time you take your client to show houses, that's a good time to do that type of video. Like you just like show the house where you are in, and then you just say little things and post it. That's it. And then we've been doing that. Actually, I forgot to mention that. And a lot of times we just do other things like restaurants. Or right now we cannot do restaurants, but like other stuff. So like we try to do it every other week at least.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been what we're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Right on. Thanks, Yona, for sharing that. Appreciate it. Yeah, and I got to tell you, Yona's doing social media at a higher level than I am. I'll be honest about that. And I know Sonia, who is the launch coach or whatever they call it, coach here, is very much into social as well. And if that's an avenue you want to explore, I would definitely chat with her about that. Anybody else that's doing that has already ventured into prospecting-based marketing enhanced activities? So I'll take that as a no. All right. Now, we have a challenge here because this information that they're offering is talking about door knocking. Can we do door knocking right now?
No.
Yeah.
No, we cannot do door knocking. What can we do?
Call.
You want something
We
physical?
can call.
I was gonna say,
We
yeah.
can still call. We can still call. And the approach or the system is still the same. Approach them, take an action, ask them something, and then move them into your database if that's at all possible. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at, yeah, sorry, I'm looking at this data, and I'm going, we can't do this right now. Here's the reality, though. A day will come when you're able to go out door knocking again. All right, Yolanda, you're in that that gated community. Are you
Yes.
prohibited in there from door knocking?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know that's the case with a lot of them. Those of you that are in a community that you're not prohibited from knocking on doors. It's as simple as knocking on the door, introducing yourself. One thing that my wife and I would do when we were doing open houses, when I was, brand new to this market, and I would borrow somebody else's open house, and we would door knock in advance of that, and invite people to the open house, and of course ask them who they know that might be buying, because you might want to you might want to pick your neighbor, as we like to say, and we would make contacts that way, and then we'd hold the house open and whatever. One of those people that I door knocked around an open house, nice lady, Carolyn Beach. She said, I'm gonna die here. I'm never moving, but I do need help with this garage door here. The man door to the garage. The frame on it is broken, or the door's broken. Do you have a good handyman? I said, absolutely, I do. I'll be happy to get that to you. Should I call you or email you? What's the best email? Got her email. I've got her address. I've got her phone number. I got her name. I got her physical address, because I was door knocking it. Got her the name of the handyman. Handyman did a great job. She called me to thank me. Stayed in touch with her a few times over the year. How are you doing? Need anything else? You're all right. In August, I got a call from Dennis. He said, hey, do you know my mom, or my aunt, Carolyn Beach? You helped her with a handyman that fixed the door. I say, yeah, I do know her. Haven't talked to her in a while. How's she doing? Well, she passed away from cancer in over 6 weeks. And she asked me to reach out to you to give you the chance to sell the house.
Wow.
Give value, stay in touch, and business can show up. Okay, and that was from door knocking in advance of an open house. And if you do that enough and consistently, and if you give value, then something good can happen from it. At this moment, we can't do this. However, you could call people in advance, and we can't do open houses. I know some agents are kind of skirting the edges on that, what have you. You choose to do what you choose to do about that, and I'm going to follow the rules when it comes to that. All right. Agent to agent referrals. How many of you are familiar with this or understand that or get what that is all about?
I'm somewhat familiar. I actually just started dabbling and playing around with it, and just started asking other states in KW, hey, let's connect. Let's refer. Just in case you have someone out in, for example, Orlando who wants to come to California, or vice versa. And so far I have about 10 people that just by not even them knowing me, but being in KW, they said, okay. And so, yeah, I just reached out that way.
Fantastic, Yolanda. Where did you find those people, and why did you choose to find those people?
That's something I chose to find agent to agent referrals, because that's something else I want to add to my business as well. And so I went inside Command. There's a feature in Command where you can reach out to other agents. So you really have to play around in there and see what they're doing. You can also see what they're producing as far as sales and listings and things like that in that nature. And just reach out and have a conversation, really quick couple of lines, and see what happens. And so far, I mean, these are people that I don't know them personally, other than being in the KW family, but there was about 10 people that said yes.
Awesome. Now, what are you doing to stay in touch with them or to keep yourself top of mind with them?
Now that's the thing I need work on.
Are you being coached by Sonia?
Yes, I've been doing some coaching with Sonia, but we haven't talked about that aspect on what do I do with my agent contacts reaches.
Yeah, and the easiest thing is a drip campaign or some kind of email campaign that keeps you top of mind, as well as quarterly calls of how's it going in your market? Has anyone come to mind or what have you?
Okay.
Let's be real. More people, and I've been doing this business 18, 19 years now. I've always heard, oh, there's going to be this mass exodus out of California. Well, there's been no mass exodus. However, I am seeing the number of people exiting California increase.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities there to build relationships in Arizona, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Texas, Tennessee, North, South Carolina. These are all places I'm hearing that people are going, and build agent relationships there so that when you run across somebody that says, I'm leaving the state, you're able to list their home and get a referral out to one of those agents that you know in a different market, and get money off of doing that. What I'm fortunately have is I built a database up in Northern California, the Sacramento area, of people that have worked with me in the past. So now when they move or they have a need to move, they'll reach out to me and say, who do you have? And I refer it to an agent that I know up there, and then get a referral fee off of that. A large portion of my income this past year has come from those referrals. And I had a database of clients in that area. So that's why. But to Yona's person in Florida, well, let's say that person in Florida now needs to make a move. Yona can have a relationship with an agent, or can find an agent in that market and refer that agent to them. So I've heard of agents actually building their entire business off of just doing this, just making referrals. Which, if you can do that, fantastic. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that one basket, and it's a good basket to explore. Start building relationships with agents in other markets and other areas. We used to be able to go to family reunion with Keller Williams or mega camp. I remember seeing this one guy in a top hat with lights and a tray and a tuxedo, and he would just collect business cards from people. I don't even know who he is. Maybe that was effective for him. I don't know. But yeah, build relationships with other agents. All right, good. All right, we've beaten that dead horse. Yolanda mentioned there is a way in Command to do this. I'm not the guy to ask about that. Yolanda would be the guy or gal, or Sonia would be the person to ask about that, about working that. And I will get referral requests on Kelly, or agents asking to be a referral partner on Kelly. So if you have the Kelly app on your phone, you can do it from there as well, or you can do it from Command, whatever you want to do.
So Bob,
All right. Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So with the referral, the agent referral. So I would do the same thing with the ones that did say yes to me. I would put them in my database, and then I can put them on a smart plan. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I don't know what the smart plan is for agent referrals, and I would not want to have to build that. But I'm sure there's one that exists, and you can just leverage that. Or there's probably a stockpile of emails that are specific to that to create a smart plan. I don't have one for agents. I have one for my database, and I've got someone else that manages that for me.
Got you. Okay, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Open houses. Can we do open houses?
No.
No.
Now, what I've seen agents do is appointment-only open houses.
Mhm.
They'll put out open house signs by appointment only. You have to sign the COVID thing. You have to do this, that, or the other thing. You have to abide by these rules of what have you. But they're doing an open house. And it's kind of skirting the edges of what's allowed. And if you want to take that approach, okay. At some point in history, we'll be able to do open houses again. And so the best thing for open houses is to prepare. Now, if you don't have your own house to list, where do you find open houses? If you don't have your own listing, how are you going to do an open house?
You can ask another agent if you can do their open house.
Correct. Absolutely. This is one thing that I would do. When I left the team that I was on many years ago and didn't have my own open houses, I'd ask agents that I knew in the market center, can I hold your house open? Yep, sure can. Okay. If you look at who's got listings in our market center and ask them, can I hold it open for you? Great. This is when we're allowed to do it again. All right.
Right.
We can't right now. And then in advance of that, you could, I would call around in advance of it. I might drop what's called Sly Broadcast, which is you get a list of phone numbers and you record a message. Hi, this is Bob with Keller Williams South Bay. We're going to be holding the house at blah, 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 blah open on Saturday, the 10th from 2 to 4. We'd like to invite you to that and see who you might know that might want to buy this beautiful home. And then this system called Sly Broadcast will drop that voicemail into the phone. Like when our market center tells you, hey, this team meeting or this training or this something or this thing is happening, they're basically using Sly Broadcast, and all it's doing is dropping the message onto your cell phone.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. That way you don't have to dial 1,000 people or 500 people. It just drops all of them on there. And the cost of doing that is very low. So you can drop that. If you wanted to, you could create flyers and say we're doing this open house on Saturday. You could put a sign out early, open house Saturday. You'll see some agents, they used to do this. The sign would be out there all week, and it would have the dates or times on there. All right. And then when somebody shows up, then it's a matter of building a relationship and seeing if you can add them to your database. And then if you can, follow them afterwards. One of the biggest things, and I saw it on one of the Facebook groups I'm on, Yolanda, remind me to mention Facebook groups for agent referrals.
Okay.
One of the big questions I see is, what do you do when someone who visits an open house or registers at your website or run into at a store says, I'm just looking? Everybody's just looking. And my favorite line for that is, that's the best part. All of our clients that currently own homes, we're all just looking at some point. When do you want to own a home? And if you ever have been in my Dialing for Dollars class, you've heard me talk about disrupting and disrupt them and then ask a question. So anyway, that's a way. Now, groups on Facebook, lab coat agents, leads, and scripts and dialogues. So there's a lot of different real estate Facebook groups. Somebody's got some noise going on in the background. Okay, there we go. Nope, it's back. I'm hearing some kind of buzzing or something. Anybody else hearing that, or is it just the buzzing that's going on in my head?
No, there's buzzing going on.
Yeah, I hear it. Too.
Okay, good. I think we got rid of it now. Great. Thanks, whoever that was. Facebook group. There's a lot of different real estate agent Facebook groups that you can join, be a part of. And I see on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis, agents posting, hey, I need an agent in blank area. And then who do you recommend? And then other agents will post either themselves or somebody that they refer or what have you. The thing with that, you got to be the first agent to respond. Otherwise, you're dead in the water. So, but look at that. You can be a part of that. You can get in that. It happens for me all the time with the team I'm with, United Home Group, agents that I won't even be in that group, but other agents that I know and work with, if they see LA come up, I need an agent in LA, they'll always recommend me. And then I'll try and reach out to that other agent, the one that's asking for the referral, through direct messaging. And one time I had somebody post on Facebook, hey, I need an agent to help me sell my house. And I knew this person, so I reached out to them, direct message them, and they hired me. So, all right. Open houses. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on open houses because we can't do them. Prospecting, add context, follow-up stays top of mind. Now, this is really the key. You're going to go through a lot of effort, a lot of energy to make contacts with people, to build a relationship. And the key then is to add them to your database. And for most of you, that's going to be Command. You're going to add them to Command and put them on a drip plan or a follow-up plan and stay in touch. Because if you add them to your database and then don't do anything, they will have forgotten all about you. That is really the key. Add contacts. In Command, you can add tags, cultivate phase, add them to or a smart plan. I call it a drip campaign. It's a smart plan. Add them to that. And there's a lot of great tools in Command that can help you be relevant and give value in doing that. All right. One thing I want to mention about any scripts, dialogues that you're using or doing. Somebody revealed this to me the other day when I was doing a live lead generation, and I was talking to a for sale by owner and communicating with them. And when I was done, the person that was listening, one of the people that were listening on the call, said, wow, that person had no idea what they were doing, and you knew exactly where you were going. And that person and some other people that I know have made the comment that sometimes they'll start the conversation and hope the person on the other end takes over or drives it or says, I want to buy or I want to sell. And that, in essence, that's not proactive. You're taking an action, you're starting a conversation, but then you're not driving or directing the conversation. You're hoping that they're going to say, yeah, I need to do something. And that's not an effective script. That's not an effective way of communicating. And I didn't even realize that I was doing this. When I'm making a call, I want to get from here to here, and I know exactly how I'm going to get there. And it's either going to end with, I'm setting an appointment, or don't ever call me again, or I'm adding them to my database. There's a third one in there, but yeah. And any one of those is okay. Get comfortable with being told no. It's hard, folks. It's difficult. I get it. Get comfortable with being told no, and understand that being told no is an okay end result, because they just don't have a need. That's just the reality. Okay? And then if you need help with scripts, there's a lot of them out there. I've developed my own, and they're all up here. So don't ask me to send you scripts because I don't have them written out or typed out. You just gotta listen to me. Unfortunately. All right. Next on here is it talks about open houses and how to stand out with an open house. I'm not going to spend time on this right now because it's of no value to us at this moment. Social media. All right. Here we can get a little bit more into something you can do and be relevant with. Social media prospecting has become an important part of lead generation strategy in many real estate businesses, and for good reason. When used correctly, social media allows you to instantaneously connect with potential clients and begin to build relationships that will result in more business. Social media allows them to create content and share content with an audience. The audience is made of people they know, or sometimes it is shared with people they personally may not know. So yeah, you may put up a video about that great restaurant in Manhattan Beach that is doing takeout service, and you should go use it. And that person that sees it may share it with somebody else, and they may share it with somebody else, and you just never know where it's going to go. But if you deliver something of value, that can spread. And then the 3 different types of social media channels that are available in command are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I dwell in Facebook. I have an Instagram account. Twitter, I have an account. I don't do anything on there absolutely at all. It says in here to refer to page 11. Let me see what's on page 11. And I will just give you my own, personally, what I do. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Select a media strategy, seek prospects, share posts, service the people that you get. The one thing that I use command for with social media is when I get a listing, I'll go in and do a campaign of that listing. I'll spend $30 for 10 days, and it'll put a Facebook or Instagram ad, and I will typically get 5 to 10 registrations out of that system. Out of the 50 registrations I've received, I've gotten 1 lead that's worth following up with. Now, I've had other people have great success with it. They've done Facebook ad. They've used the campaign functionality in command, and they've gotten great results. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up for you here and just show you exactly what I'm talking about. Has anybody else done any kind of Facebook social ad stuff in command?
No.
That's a no. KW command. That's what I'm looking for, not connect. All right. Yana, have you done any ads?
Yes, I've done once.
Okay. What has been your experience with doing ads?
For my experience, I did have like about six to seven leads. One of them has reached out to us, and talked to him, and he was a buyer. And after that, we just we didn't talk anymore, but we constantly he's on a what is this smart plan, so email is sent out to him on a regular basis.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And what did that cost you to do that?
It was like $30.
$30. Yep.
Yes.
Let me show you this. There it is. Okay, here's my command account. And this is campaigns, this thing right here, paid ads. The one we just recently did, Belmont, which we just got in contract yesterday, by the way, had 2 offers, did a multiple seller counter offer, and they picked one. Over 10 days, got 994 impressions, 57 clicks, and got 8 leads. Oh, I should probably take a look at that, because I don't think I've reached out to some of these. I've got some leads sitting in here that I haven't even done anything with. Yeah, I haven't even, I think I talked to Bill Nelms. So I got a couple leads in here I better reach out to. Oops. All right. You can see, and it's the people, it's so easy. You do have to have a business page. You do have to create a business Facebook page to link it to. But here's 235th, 1,255 impressions, 39 clicks, 6 leads. Kaye Mayer, 7 impressions, 51 clicks, 8 leads. And each time was $30. Ocean, 1414. All right, so getting a lot of impressions, even getting quote unquote leads from it. All right, and the cost of doing that, $30 is not bad. And if you need help creating a campaign, Sonia can help you with that. It's actually very, very easy. The bad thing is you have to have a listing. So if you don't have a listing, you really can't do this. There may be other ways, social posts. I don't know what that is. But, oh yeah, you can create social posts. I don't know what that'll do, but hey, right on. You can do that. But if that's an avenue you want to explore, you can do that. Let's get back over to screen 2. Yes.
So Bob, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
When you say you don't have a listing, so many of us, especially for myself being new, do not have a listing. So how do you do that? Can you market? I've heard about marketing for another agent, their listing, and giving them, of course, putting their name on there as credit. But how else do you, because I have Instagram, right? And so with my Instagram, I have these nice, postings with KW background, and that's nice and dandy, but I don't have any like housing listings on there. So how do I expand it?
Okay, the easy solution or easy answer for that is you can post market data. Oh, like Yolanda, like your gated community that you live in.
Yeah.
You can find out over the last month, 3 months, 6 months, what has sold.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
You can take that data and say, this is what has sold in community over the last 1, 3, 6 months.
Okay.
And you can post that.
Okay. Good.
You're telling the truth.
Yes.
Now you can't say, I personally sold these homes.
Right.
One thing you can say is, we sold these homes in this neighborhood.
Okay.
Because we as real estate professionals have sold homes in every neighborhood in the United States in the last month.
Gotcha.
And I like that you're laughing at that, Cecily, because yep, it's true. We have, absolutely.
I love that. I love that.
Okay. All right, let's look at, all right, social media, yeah. When you're on social media, and this is why when I was talking to Max about what you can post, and this is what Ioana is already doing, it's 80% personal and 20% business.
Okay.
And the simple math is, I've heard, for every every 1 business related post, you do 4 personal, something that has nothing to do with real estate, about you, about the community, about needs in the community, charities you're helping out, whatever, or the beautiful sunset we had today. That's kind of the math around that seems to be, or the experts say, is successful. Again, 20% business, 80% personal. Don't make it all about business.
Okay.
Because people get bored with that. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Take action and develop your plan. Prospect to your strength. 80. Okay. Yeah. This is tough for newer agents because each year I get a look at where did my business come from? And it's generally 5 sources produce the vast majority of them. When I was in Northern California, 70% of it, 60% of it came from my database. Sphere of influence, past clients, people that I knew, giving me referrals. Another percentage might be online leads, for sell by owners, expireds, circle prospecting, absentee owners. So an agent that has been in the business a while can look at where did my business come from and then make sure that you're focusing on those areas. All right. Now, does anybody in here have, Joanna, I know you have over a year of experience, and do you have enough data that you can say, hey, here's where our business came from?
Yeah, they are all prospecting, which is like family and friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
100%.
Yep. Family and friends. Yep. And understand the reality, folks. In your business, the majority is going to come from your database, people who know you. It's not going to come from, I made a call and somebody said, yep, I'm ready to buy. You're going to have to nurture or develop that relationship. Okay? All right. Let me look at this here. Yeah. I mean, this is a great exercise to do at some point when you have a year or two into this business. This will make more sense for you. But you look at where your business came from and then prioritize it, because if the majority of it came from social media or door knocking or whatever, then you know to focus on the top 5 and don't worry about the other ones. Those will take care of themselves. Okay. All right. Now, developing a prospecting plan. Look, do you all have your participant guides in front of you?
I do.
Say yes or no.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Using the list of prospecting methods on page 4, and we kind of did this earlier. Let's get a little more serious about it now. List the top 3 methods that you are interested in focusing on. And you can use your top 5 lead, or you can use your top 5 lead sources from page 13. So page 4, if you don't have, do you all have page 4, or do you all have this thing in front of you?
Yes.
Yes, your screen is showing develop in prospecting plan, but it doesn't actually show the methods.
Okay, so page 14 of your book should ask you to list the top 3 prospecting methods. Actively develop a prospecting plan. Do you have that? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is you're going to take 2 minutes to do that while I go grab some more water and write down the top 3 things that you're going to do. And then guess what I'm going to ask you to do?
Share.
Yay, you got it. Okay, so let's go 2 minutes. All right, everyone. When you got your 3 written down, be brave, be bold, be courageous, and take action. Oh, Cecily, you're the one that's humming.
Isn't it?
You're humming.
Am I?
Yeah, for whatever reason, the connection is bad. But you're the culprit.
Sorry, guys. But I was also going to share my plan, which is the same plan that I had initially. But,
Yeah. So yeah.
but also,
So go ahead, rattle them off.
Okay, got it. So, like I said, phone, working with the dialing system. Also, too, like I
Wait,
said.
but who are you gonna? Hold on, Cecily. Who are you calling with that dialing system?
So I'm going to do expired listings. I'm also
Okay.
going to do for sale by owners. You know, just and again, you shared that with me when we first got together about looking for people who don't have agency.
Right.
And then the second one, again, it's going to be, like I said, working with, you know, even to my local bankers. You know, I have multiple bank accounts in different banks, and so I've actually just reached out to those people and let them know. And like I said, I also too, even just I'm telling everybody that I know that I run into. You know, like I said, I'm always out in working groups and things of that nature, and I'm a bartender by trade. You know, and so
Right.
I have a lot of regulars. I know a lot of people. And so, you know, and I run into everybody, especially in this downtime with COVID. And they're like, oh, hey, what have you been up to? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing real estate. And I try to get as much information. And I also get people's contacts as soon as I run into them. You know, I get their numbers, I put it in my phone, you know, I reach out to them and try to get as much information as I possibly can. I just ran into a guy that is a regular at the bar that I worked at, and I had no idea that he's a real estate investor. And I got his number and I got his, you know, his email address, and I was like, hey, can we get together, even if it's just to pick your brain, you know, because he has more experience than I do. And then also too, like I said, the newest thing for me is going to be, like I said, doing, trying to create some sort of online presence, because I'm trying to figure out how to basically sell real estate from my living room. Like that's, you know, that's pretty much where I'm at. So I was like, I figured if I have 2 of those and one kind of in person, you know, meet to, you know, face to face kind of setup, then, you know, like I said, at least it's something. It's a place to start. And so, and everyone that I've spoken to in the real estate industry has been like, just call people, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And given what I've seen of you, Cecily, and all of you on this call can also, I'm sure, agree with this. Do you think Cecily will have any problem asking people for their contact information? No, she won't. She's gonna.
It'll just flow.
It'll just flow. It'll just flow, and it's because you can just see and how she carries herself and how she communicates. She's confident. And that's one of the biggest things I can share with you about being successful in this business. Do people want to work with those that, and this kind of is going back to that point I made about when I make a call, I know where I want to get to. I'm starting here and I'm going to get here. People want to follow someone that knows where they're going. Yeah, everybody wants leaders. And Cecily's showing that she's going to lead. This is where I want to get to. Do you want to come along with me? And the majority of the time, people are going to say, yeah, I want to come along with you. And having confidence in yourself as a human being, and confidence in that, yes, I will be able to help you, will go a long, long way for you, because people want to work with someone that knows what they're doing. And I know a lot of you that are newer, you question whether you really know what you're doing or not. And I can guarantee you almost all the time, anybody you talk to, you know more about real estate already than they know. So just be aware of that. Okay. Cecily, thank you for being open and honest and willing to share that. Anybody else want to share, Yolanda?
Yes, I really want to focus on my circle prospecting for my community. And so my
Okay, that's
goal,
one.
yeah, so my goal in that is to really reach out to my title rep, give a happy new year, see how she's doing, and then give my criteria for the listing of what I'm looking for in my particular community. So I just want to focus
So
more on, yes,
that's one. We need three. And Cecily mentioned she's got like three different avenues. She wanted to do FISBOs, expireds, and her
Yeah.
relationships. Those are three legs. Why do we want to have three different prospecting sources?
I think it just brings balance because if you just focus on one, it may not generate as much as the other. So I guess my second leg would be for sale by owners. I think I had mentioned that before.
Okay.
I
Yep.
want to look for sale
You
by
did.
owners. And then I want to look at my referral, the agent to referral. So I'll look
Okay,
at those
good.
too. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. The reason you want to have three legs is if you have a stool and it has three legs, is it stable?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also,
A
it
stool
also,
with three legs is
With
stable.
3 legs, yes.
it
A
also triples the
stool with two
potential.
legs. What's that?
It also triples the potential.
Correct. That's right. Because if one of your legs is not working and that's the only one you're working, you've got a problem. So that's why you want to have three. Now we're not going to go into it now, and Yolanda was already kind of delving into that with her community that she's going to work. Write the three methods below. List the pros and cons of each method underneath, and you can do that on your own. And then prospecting method selected. And you do this for each one. This is basically doing a 1-3-5. How many of you have heard of the 1-3-5?
I've heard of it.
It's one major goal, three ways to get to it, and five techniques under those three major ways of getting it. But if you were to go up here, Yolanda, and say, "Hey, my neighborhood," or certain
Yes.
prospect my neighborhood, what resources do you need? Well, you need the list of the people in the neighborhood.
Right.
When are you going to get that? Who is your target in there? Probably sellers, right?
Yes.
What action, what's the call to action going to be? Who do you know that's selling? And how will you know when you're successful? And how are you going to track your results?
Okay.
So this is a great way, and Cecily, for you in the various areas that you selected, for if it's FISBOs, expireds, or if it's your key relationships, you've got a database of people that you know and worked with in your bartending career. Okay, so I would just call that your database or your sphere of influence. So what resources are needed to work that sphere of influence, and when will you get that, and who are you targeting for that, and develop that out for each one of those areas. Oh, and I'm looking at this page over here. All you see is that over there. Sorry about that, folks. But you're looking at the same participant guide that I am. All right. So we're going to cover just this page and then we're going to be done. Yeah. All right. Let's do some ahas to achievement. How has your thinking changed and what ideas or mindsets were new? Please share with me any ahas you've received from this session today.
I would say my aha was the circle prospecting. I was really excited about that. And I said, I want to really dive more into that area. So now I see where I can do that. And so I'm excited about that. And I also know that now by going to, Ignite and listening to the different workshops and going in and listening to all the information, I know that I'm on the right track. And so it's good that I'm hearing the information is repeated over and over and over to now I'm like, I'm getting it. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Thank you, Yolanda. And one thing you said that I'm really, really happy to hear, and I really do hope you take action on it. You said you see now how you can do it.
Yes.
Because you had an idea about it. Yeah, this would be a good idea. And now you can see how that can happen.
It was the how for me. Yeah, it was like, well, how do I do it? And
Yeah.
that's important with anything. You can tell someone what to do, but you got to know how does that look like from A to Z. And so now I feel better
Yep.
with the how.
Good. Right on. Right on. Thank you, Yolanda, for sharing that. Anybody else have an aha about how the thinking has changed? Or what do you feel differently about, or what actions are you looking forward to, or what tools, any one of those things up there on the window that you see now?
Well, I was literally sitting and thinking and trying to formulate a plan going into the new year about, as Yolanda said, like the how and the best way to accomplish what it is that I'm trying to do. And the reality is I'm trying to get a listing, you know. And for me, what was great was everything that you said is everything that I really kind of already have written down, but also too, an aha moment was you going into your commercial page and seeing how much productivity that you have going on. And the one side, it says that your lead generation came from it told you the source, which was Facebook, and just how much business you're actually doing. And so, when being a new agent, you have this idea of what you want to do, and like she said, you have no real way of knowing how to achieve it except for sitting and listening to somebody who's doing it. And so just being willing to do whatever someone who is successful is doing, like that, that's a game changer, just because it's already laid out. Like, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to do what you're doing. I'm going to do what you're doing, and I'm going to do what you're saying. I'm going to contact Sonia, and I'm going to figure out, again, I'm just going to follow your lead. And so thank you for taking the time to do this class too. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Cecily. Two things. I'm going to unmute you because you are still, well, I don't know what's going on there, but two things that I want to mention to you. You said you're trying to get a listing. I want you to change that language to you intend to get a listing. Okay. And you said, hey, I'm just going to follow and do what those that are successful are doing. Folks, Solomon said it many, many years ago in Song of Solomon or Lamentations, one of those. There is nothing new under the sun. Those that have success doing this are doing the same thing that others have done many, many years ago. So don't try and create something new that doesn't exist. Do what the successful people are doing and fits with who you are and how you want to approach it. Not everybody is a dialing fool like me. In fact, a very, very small percentage are. And I love it, and I'm nuts, and I'm insane because I don't mind rejection whatsoever, and that's very unusual. So that may not be your thing, and that's okay. However, somebody is doing what is in your wheelhouse. So figure out what's in your wheelhouse and then do that. All right. Anybody else that had learned something, feel differently about an aspect of it, how your thinking has changed, what actions you will take?
I really like just the idea of just picking 3 prospecting plans and really sticking to those and becoming an expert on each of those 3. It's a lot more simple. I've got this whole list of ideas, and I've just kind of been like, what am I going to do?
Awesome. And Max, that's actually a fantastic point, because there's 1,000 things you could do, and it's overwhelming. So find 3 that you will do, and that'll make a huge, huge difference. Awesome. Thank you. So Max, you didn't share with me your 3. What are your 3? Or did you?
I did not. I want to call absentee owners, because that sounds to be like your favorite. I'm going to look into doing the teaching and speaking opportunities through Facebook. and then also on renters, apartment complexes.
Okay, awesome. Number two, I would not call teaching and speaking opportunities. I would call that social media.
Okay.
Yeah, call that community social media outreach, whatever.
Okay.
Because it's not really speaking. Speaking and teaching is what I'm doing.
Right.
So, yeah, and I'm actually potentially building agent referral relationships by doing this. Yeah, like you guys are going to refer me business in our market, whatever. Anyway, so great. That's awesome, Max. Good job. All right. Anybody else? Or is there a question you need to ask, or before we wind this down, question you want to ask, clarification on something? I see that Max has already sent me a who are the title reps email, so I will respond to you after this. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll be following up, Bob. Again, this is a very valuable session. I think invaluable for all of us, especially as we sink our teeth into it, hands-on, grab the bull by the horns. And now that we have a clearer idea of all of the possibilities there are, all of the different grips we can apply in terms of people we can contact and how we can contact them, what value we can offer to them. I mean, just a good table setter this morning in terms of how we can be organized and what we can look forward to as far as filling in blanks as we go along. And with that, increasing our value and the means that we bring it with to get listings from the market, and as well as help people buy homes as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Marius. Appreciate that.
So I'll be following up with an email to you as well.
All right. I look forward to it. One thing in Ignite that is mentioned, daily habits to help you build your career, is adding 10 contacts to your database. So in Max's point, that could be reaching out to 10 people on his 100-page sheet and getting all their complete contact information so he can add them to his database. Having 10 conversations, well, there's those 10 right there. Doing 10 handwritten notes, that could be 10 handwritten notes to the 10 people he spoke to, or 10 you can't preview homes, so forget that one. All right. Scripts. We're not going to go into scripts. You know what a huge fan I am of them. And we're not doing this part of it, so we are going to be done. Anything else from anybody before we call it a day?
Thank you.
Nope. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. Namaste, Cecily. All right, gang. Go out and find some business.
All right.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
My pleasure.